Hello, now we'll look at using the midpoint formula. So a bit of vocabulary. A line segment is a part of a line that is noted with two endpoints. So x1, y1, and x2, y2. So similar to when we were, finding the distance formula, the midpoint formula shows us the point that's in the middle. So it's like so. And forgive my, actually I think I can use, actually I'm just going to stay with one. So I have a line, and so this is my point 1, this is my point 2, so this is x1, and x2, y2. The midpoint form basically just finds that point in the middle. So the halfway point, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for that point that is in the middle. The formula is first you have to find those endpoints. You have to find out what the endpoints are. And you write the midpoint formula, which is x1 plus x divided by 2. Because it's just a halfway point. It's just that simple. And y1 plus y2 divided by 2. We substitute those values in and we simplify. So let's do a few examples. So it says calculate the midpoint of the line segment. And so we have two endpoints. Doesn't matter which one we call the first and the second. We're going to get the exact same answer. So my midpoint, my x1, which is negative 2, plus my x2, which is 4, divided by 2. That'll give me my first point. And my y1, which is 1, plus my y2, which is 2, divided by 2. And that gives me my y value. And so again, I have to simplify. Negative 2 plus 4 is 2, so 2 divided by 2. And 1 plus 10 is 11 over 2, which gives 1. And I can leave it as 11 over 2. I can change it to 5 and 1/2. But we want to keep it in that fraction form. Or, I guess it doesn't matter depending on what your answer choices are. If it's in decimal, you can put it in decimal too, so it's 5.5. Let's do another one. So it says calculate the midpoint formula that has line segments with points, -8, -4, and 2, 0. So again, this is my first point, and that's my second point. And so my x1, which is -8, plus my x2. These values, of course, are going together because I want to find out the next x value. I'm looking for an x value. And then my y values are going to go together, so that's my x1 and my y2. Sorry, my y1 and my y2. A little tongue twisted, I apologize. -8 plus 2 gives me 6 divided by 2. And -4 plus 0 is just plain old -4 divided by 2 still. And so I simplify that because I have to always put it in simplified form. It gives me 3, -2. So the halfway point would be at 3, -2. Alright, let's say we have an endpoint and a midpoint this time. So again, I can plug it into my formula to see what the values would be. So I know what my midpoint value is. So let's do it for each point, or each coordinate point. So for the x and the y basically. So I know my midpoint formula is x1 x1 x2, divided 1 plus y2. The answer, what it already is, so I know that this is my midpoint for my x value, this is my midpoint for my y value, because that's what they've given me. Look at x first, so we have 3x, my midpoint, is equal to my first value, which is my y2, divided by 2. And now I can solve for that for the y as well, so I have y is equal to my y1, which is 0, y2 divided by 2. So first thing I do is solve, looking at my x, I'm going to multiply both sides by 2 to get my 2 away, to get rid of that 2. So that gives me 6 is equal to 6 plus x2. And I'm sorry I've run out of room. But I do need to subtract 6 from both sides to find out what that x2 is. And when I do that, I get 6 minus 6 is 0, so 0 is equal to my x2 point. Same thing over here, I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. So that way this 2 crosses out, and I get 2 is equal to 0 plus y2. I really need to subtract 0. We know when you subtract 0, I don't even need to write the 0, right? I just can say y2, right? So y2 is equal to 2. So my point, or my other endpoint that I should have, is at 0, comma 2. Let's do another one of those. It says a line segment has endpoints 2, -2, and a midpoint 3, 0. Determine the coordinates of the other endpoint. Again, we're going to use the exact same formula. So our midpoint formula, I'm trying to write smaller. It's hard though, guys. So x1 plus x2 divided by 2, and y1 plus y2 divided by 2. And I'm going to plug in what I have. I know my midpoint is 3, so I'm going to say 3 is equal to my x value, so that's going to be my x value is 2 plus x2 divided by 2. And then for my y, I have 0 is equal to -2 plus y2 divided by 2. Multiply both sides by 2 to get rid of that 2. So that crosses out, and I get 6 equals 2. 2. Subtract, and I get 4 is equal to x2. Same thing over here, multiply both sides by 2. Anything times 0 is 0, so I get 0 is equal to -2 plus y2. This time, balance out my equation, and I get y2 is equal to 2. So my coordinate point would be 4, 2. That is the other endpoint. And I hope that this helps.